Hi everyone, it's January 14th, 2020, and the purpose of the video is to give you legislative update for new 2020 laws that are going to affect, well, that have already affected the private investigator and private patrol industry. Excuse me, I'm at home. This is really the only time that I can shoot these videos. I have parenting duties, so if I need to break away real quick from this video and attend to my duties, then I apologize in advance, and I don't cut the video, so you might see me vanish from the screen a little bit. Sorry. A bunch of these laws that I'm going to discuss, they affect private investigators and private patrol operators, private security guards. First law is Senate Bill number 609, Senate Bill 609. This requires firearm permit applicants to be at least 21 years of age. 21. You have got to be kidding me. Who's voting for some of these people? Now look, if you are entrepreneur in the private security industry or private investigator industry, private security officer, and you don't carry armed, then I don't have a problem with you. If you carry armed or you have armed contracts, I have a huge problem with you. For those of you who are voting these people into office and who are not doing your research. Now, if you just say, well, I don't vote at all, well, you're part of the problem as well. I don't even know this guy, Steve Glaser. But I can already tell you, he is not a friend of the private investigator or private patrol industry. Steve Glaser. He's from Alameda County. Those of you who live in that area must have voted him into office. He passed Senate Bill 609. We have men and women going to scary parts of the world with all kinds of weapons. Yet, when they're on this side of the world in California, you don't want them to carry a firearm? Now, I can already tell you, this guy has no street experience. Those of you who voted this guy into office, do you have any street experience? The minority of you have street experience. Many of you do. I have a problem with that. A lot of your applicant pool is going to be between the ages of 18 and 21 for armed contracts. Okay, I've taught for about 10 years the exposed firearm permit course for BSIS. I'm not an employee of BSIS. I'm not a contractor. I'm an independent trainer. And I can tell you that the young ones, 18 and 21, they respect the firearm, they respect the instructor, they respect the gun. Now, I get older ones in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, 70s, and they draw a lot of concern to me when they handle the firearm. And that's not everybody, but it's not between that age group, 18 and 21. I don't know where they're getting this information from or why they're passing these laws, but they are not helping the private investigator, private patrol operator, security industry. Do not vote Steve Glaser back into office if you have armed contracts. He is against you. Okay? All right, moving on. If you happen to be a private investigator applicant, or a private investigator already, and you're required to go to an ethics course, and you would only do so really if it's a disciplinary matter, BSIS is going to have it posted on the website, the course providers. I'm almost positive you look right now, you're not going to see nothing right now. That's one of the laws. And I apologize if I'm just reading off the legislative updates, but I want to make sure that you understand what they are, and there's no ambiguity here. Make sure that you also do your due diligence and look up the code and see exactly what it says. This is just a brief summary. Okay. Let's see. They're also increasing the various fees under the Private Investigator Act. Okay, they're increasing the various fees. So I'm not sure exactly what fees they're talking about, other than change of name. But again, Steve Glaser. Okay. And let me name some other names. that have said yes to this bill: Allen, Archuleta, Atkins, Bates, Biel, Borregas, Bradford, Caballero, Chang, Dale, Dodd, Durazo, Galliani, Glazer, Lena Gonzalez, Grove, Hertzberg, Hill, Hueso, Hurtado, Jackson, Jones, Leyva, McGuire, Mitchell, Monning, Morlach, Morel, Nielsen, Pan, Portatino, Roth, Rubio, Skinner, Stern, Stone, Umberg, Wieckowski, Wiener, and Wilk. Okay, the ones that keep saying yes to these bills are Archuleta, Chang, Dodd, Galgiani, Glazer, Hill, Leyva, Pan, and Wilk. The ones that dissent from these bills, well, this exact bill here, is Diep, D-I-E-P, a Republican, by the way, and Pietri Norris. She's a Democrat. Okay, I'm not just picking on Democrats, but most of the names I just mentioned are Democrats, by the way. For some reason, if it deals with firearms, Democrats want to vote in favor of gun control. Almost none of them have worked the streets. And those of you who have worked the streets know that these laws are not effective. They're a waste of time. Stop creeping into our industry and having us listen to you how we run our business. Okay, it's not appreciated. All right. Senate Bill 385. It requires the Bureau to issue an enhanced photo ID card rather than a pocket card upon issuance of each biannual renewal of a private investigator license effective January 1st, 2021. So right now you can get a pocket card that has an ID on it, that has your actual picture ID on it. That's an option. You just pay a little bit extra, but it's going to be an actual law starting January 1st, 2021, so you still have a whole year. Okay. Senate Bill 385 increases the criminal category of unlicensed private investigator from an infraction to a misdemeanor. So right now it's actually considered, I guess, a wobbler, so to speak. District attorney can charge you either a infraction or a misdemeanor. But according to this law, it's only a misdemeanor, so the district attorney would have really little bit of discretion on that. And again, Democrats push this bill. I have no problem at all with Senate Bill 385 at all. I like it. I like the fact that now it's going to be a requirement that you have a photo ID just to verify who you are. And I like the fact that it changes the criminal offense from infraction to misdemeanor. Now, those of you who are taking the exam for private investigators, remember, now it's just a misdemeanor, okay? So it's not just a $5,000 fine or imprisonment in the county jail, less than a year, and $5,000. It's imprisonment in county jail and a $5,000 fine, and that's if there's no fraud involved. If there's fraud involved, you're going to tack on $10,000. Plus, tack on $10,000 and you still have that 1 year of county jail, up to 1 year of county jail. Okay. The bill also is going to exempt peace officers and federally qualified law enforcement. Before it was just state law enforcement. Now it's federal. From applying for a firearms permit, from completing the powers to arrest training, and training the carrying and use of firearms. Okay? Contact your local firearms training facility for further instructions on that. So, sorry guys, I'm a little bit sick. Okay, Senate Bill 390. It requires security guards working on K through 12 property or community college districts to complete the course of fire training by the Bureau in consultation with the POST, California Peace Officer Standards and Training. Whether the security guards are employed directly by the district or are providing security services pursuant to a contract with a private patrol operator. Further, the security guards must complete the training regardless of the number of hours worked in a single week. So, it used to be if you work more than 20 hours a week, you have to complete the special training for school security guards. Now it's if you work a minute on these school grounds, you have to complete the required training, and that course is a 24-hour course. It's a 24-hour course in school security. So if you work an hour, 2 hours on school campus, now you have to complete that course. Doesn't even matter the time that you're actually working, okay? Senate Bill 609 requires each security guard to complete 8 hours of specifically dedicated review or practice of security guard skills. Okay, each year, that's every year you got to complete the 8 hours. And, okay, so previously, it was your duty as a private security guard to keep all your training certificates. Now it's the private patrol operator's duty and the private security officer's duty. Okay, so both of you have that duty. Okay, let me see here. It also requires a private patrol operator to verify security guard registrants have current security guard registration and valid security guard registration. Okay, that's the private patrol operator duty. All right. Okay, Assembly Bill 622. That's for private investigators. Authorizes a private investigator to be granted access to a covered multifamily dwelling for the sole purpose of performing lawful service of process or service of subpoena. So, Assembly Bill 622 was previously meant for just gated communities. If there's a gate guard, then you can serve that gate guard, and the gate guard also has to give you access to the area. So, this new law gives private investigators a little bit more leeway. Excuse me for a second. What I mean by that is if there has to be some type of security at the gate. If there's security at the gate, this law is in effect. So what that means is this person has to give you access. Has to give you access to the multi-dwelling unit, so basically apartment or maybe condos. And that person has to give you access for a reasonable amount of time, okay? So that you can successfully serve process. So look further into that on your own at Senate Bill 622. Okay. Another one, Senate Bill 601, if you've been displaced by emergency, they might be able to reduce some fees for you. Okay. That's all I have right now. This is just a brief summary. I'm sorry I didn't have more time to go over this, but I need to put this information out. I go to work. I got to watch my kids pretty soon, and this is all the time I have right now. So make sure you know who you're voting for and make sure that you know these new legislative updates. Thank you very much. And I might be putting a link in the description as soon as I find it, so that you guys can research these laws yourself. If you're going to take the private patrol operator or private investigator exam, make sure that you guys know these updates. Thank you.